Teaching your dog to limp may seem like it might be a really hard trick to teach, but it really isn't. So today I'm going to show you an easy and fun way to teach your dog this trick. Subscribe now and hit that bell for more videos just like this one. For this trick, you are going to need a paw target that's about the size of a sticky note, some tasty treats, a clicker, and of course your dog. First things first, we need to teach our dogs how to do a paw target. This is really simple. Set your target on the ground and click and reward your dog for interacting with it. They can be sniffing it, touching it, pawing it. You'll especially want to reward the pawing. And then you gradually, as they get better at it and understand that the interacting with the target on the floor means that they get a treat, start to gradually increase the criteria to where they only can touch it to get their reward. This was a really simple explanation on how to teach your dog a paw target. So if you would want a more in-depth version, let me know in the comments below and I'll dedicate a whole video to it. Anyways, once you have the paw target, put it in your hand and hold it out towards your dog just slightly above the ground, and then reward them when they paw it. And then you'll gradually increase the height until it's about shoulder height for your dog. This is about where we'll want it when they're limping. Next thing you need to do is practice these same steps standing up. Once your dog is good at that, then you can take a step backward and you'll be supporting your dog's foot with your hand with the target in it. Just take a step backwards and reward them for keeping their paw up on the target. Remember that this is going to be very challenging for most dogs because they're not used to walking on 3 legs. So be patient with your dog and keep your sessions short. Once your dog masters taking 1 step, of course with your help, then gradually increase it to 2, 3, and then 4 hops. Now we're going to go back in our training and fade our target. Simply start by taking your sticky note, folding it in half, and practicing the same steps that way, and then gradually folding it smaller and smaller until you can hardly see it. If your dog is very dependent on your arm for this trick so far, then keep the session short and we'll work on building his shoulder muscle by taking the sticky note in your hand and holding it in between 2 fingers so that when they touch it, when they're paw targeting, they're not using you for support. We're going to have to teach them to be able to use their shoulder muscle more. But make sure to keep your sessions short because building muscle is a painful thing, and so you'll need to go slow and at your dog's own pace. Never exceed more than 5 minutes. I would actually probably go 1-minute sessions for dogs that are heavily dependent on your arm. Now it's time to add your cue. I honestly prefer to use a visual cue for this because it aids in fading the target. And so what I do is I turn my hand over and pretend like I'm limping myself. And then later on, if I want to add a verbal cue, all I have to do is say the verbal cue right before I give my visual cue. And then eventually you'll be able to start to fade your visual cue and your dog will understand the verbal cue. My verbal cues are limp for 1 leg and arm for the other leg. And yes, you can most certainly teach your dog to limp using both sides. And I highly suggest you do because it's a great core building exercise and it builds up their shoulder muscles. To do this, you just simply follow the exact same steps that I listed in this video, but make sure you're going to give it a different cue. That is all for this video. Subscribe and hit that bell so that you hear when new videos just like this one come out. Have a wonderful day, guys, and I will be seeing you in the next video.